So am I good?
Yeah.
That's fine. Like this one. Hey, my name's Steven. Don't trust this man. Don't you dare. I want to say 3 things to you tonight, and I'm going to try to be efficient because it's busy, and we have a lot going on in our lives, and I know we have things, and I don't want to take too much time. 3 things we've seen in Glorious Bastards. 3 verses 3. 3 things I want to say to you. 1, and I don't care what you think, I like Train. I like the music of Train. Hey, soul sister. Hey, so I can't think of the words. I was in the car with the daughter the other day. We were going to get coffee. I think it was going to get coffee. And she said, hey, I'm going to play a song. You're going to be surprised. I was like, I doubt it. And then Soul Sister came on by Train. I thought, oh, I am surprised. And I thought, I like it. I don't care. They have that Marry Me song and that Drops of Jupiter business. I like Train. I like his voice. Pat Monahan, is that his name? I don't care. 2, slightly more serious. I had an interesting week last week. I want to talk to you for a second about our brokenness. I've talked about this before when I used to have a podcast. It was amazing. The best podcast. I'm just kidding. It was okay. I talked about this on an episode. I want to talk about it again really briefly. There's a song by a guy named Rich Mullins, and I'm being serious now. I mean, I am serious. I do like Train, but this is more serious. There's an artist named Rich Mullins. He passed away in 1997. Christian artist. I think he would say he was a Christian artist. Yeah, I think he would say he was an artist. He had a song called We're Not As Strong As We Think We Are. We are frail, fearfully and wonderfully made. I love that song. And I love the idea of it, the idea that we are not as strong as we think we are. In theory, I love everything about that. In theory, I love talking about and saying and declaring to you and to whomever else will listen that I'm not as strong as I think I am. I'm not perfect. The whole premise of this show, whatever this is called, is that I am, whatever I am not this other thing. Don't trust me because I'm imperfect and I'm wrong. And I have good intentions, but I often fall short. All that stuff. I love that in theory. What I was reminded of this past week is that I don't love it when it actually hits home. I don't love confronting the fact that I'm genuinely not as strong as I think I am. When I'm confronted with my own weakness, I sometimes sort of fall apart in the face of them. That happened a little bit this past week. I just hit a moment when I just sort of collapsed is overly dramatic. I didn't actually collapse, but I felt the weight of a lot of different things, expectations I'd put on myself, trying to do too much, and it was a lot. I don't know that the details of it are particularly important now, except that I realized that I was fine being broken until I actually had to experience brokenness. And I'm really thankful that, and I'm going to give you like a church speak, like a churchy talk warning. This is going to get really churchy really fast, and I'm sorry, but sometimes it's the simplest way to convey what I'm thinking. I'm really thankful that grace and mercy tracked me down. And I'm thankful that I had the chance to remember that our weaknesses are not there to shame us. Our weaknesses don't exist for us to feel defeated. Our weaknesses really can be moments when we remember how much God is for us and how he does want to carry us. And as it says in the Bible, our weaknesses are moments where God's strength can be made perfect in us. I know that's super cliche, but it's true. I believe it's true. And I want to say this too. So I guess if I wanted to try to figure out a way to make a connection to you, or to frame this in a way that might be helpful to you, I would say don't be afraid of your brokenness. Don't be afraid to confront the thing that you've been running from. Don't be afraid to admit that you genuinely are not as strong as you think you are. Because Jesus is as strong as he claims to be. And he genuinely does want to be our strength. I hit a moment where I asked a friend at work to pray for me. And it was difficult to ask for. I was embarrassed. I love being able to be a help to others. I hated in that moment needing help. And yet just on the other side of it was the help I needed. In that moment, in that prayer, but also in the moments after and in the days since, that's part of the freedom we experience in Jesus, isn't it? We're not free to be perfect, not this side of heaven anyway. We have to live with our imperfections until we sort of are able to be who we're made to be in the kingdom. That's all eschatological. That's the end times. We'll deal with that later. It's liberating to remember that we don't have to be perfect. Jesus is perfect, and he loves us perfectly, and he can be to us and for us what we can't be for ourselves. And so, I don't know. That's been on my mind. It's a tricky thing to convey because I'm still sort of living in it. I think this happened last Friday, so we're a few days out. I spent the weekend trying to be quiet, trying to listen, try to think about how I feel, how I felt, what I've been doing, things I could do differently, things I can learn from that experience. But it occurred to me that I love talking about being weak when I can control the narrative around my weakness. But when I actually just experience my own frailty, that wasn't as much fun. But grace broke through. And I would just encourage you to not be afraid, or to be weak, or to be broken, or to be scared, or to be tired. Because I know it sounds kind of trite, but genuinely, the grace God has for you is more than enough. Third, I just want to say, this is probably obvious. We're all refugees, aren't we? This business with the ban. As a Christian, I'm confused as to how you couldn't be at least mildly put off by the whole thing. We who are once far away have been brought near. Right? I mean, that's just we who were strangers, we who were out there, we who were foreigners and fringe and not allowed in have been now allowed in. The hospitality of Christ is the gospel. I don't know what else to say. I was at one point in my life wandering. And I know this is spiritually. Yes, I was born in America, whatever, I'm a citizen. But spiritually speaking, right, inside of me, what do we love to sing? I was lost, right? And I was invited to come take up residence in a land that I had done nothing to create. I was lost, but now I'm found. I was far away, I've been brought near. I was a stranger, and now I'm a citizen of a kingdom that will endure forever. So how can I then be okay living in a place that can't treat people that way? Right? Okay, I'm done. So to recap, 1, I love train. I like train. I like train. I don't care what you say. 2, we are not as strong as we think we are, and that's okay. 3, come on. Seriously? Right? Of all the things we could disagree about in the Bible, all the things that are open to interpretation, and I'm not sure, the idea of extending generosity and hospitality to foreigners, to those outside, those out there, that's not a difficult one to get. It's all over the Bible. Come on. Okay. My name is Steven. Don't trust this man. Find me in all the places, whatever. I'd love to come talk to you, like speak to your group or your church, whatever. I'd love that more than you could ever know. So email me, Steven@don'ttrustthisman.net. Until we're together again, be well.